once and for all, to disabuse ourselves that this has to be part of our future. This is part of our past.
We are on top of breaking news as Governor Newsom vows no more when it comes to putting California's shoreline at risk. At the same time, Orange County grappling with the aftermath of a massive oil leak. Press conference with the governor just wrapping up a short time ago. Good evening. Welcome to Fox 11 News at 5. I'm Alex Michelson.
And I'm Christine Devine. We have continuing coverage of this impact of the 126,000-gallon oil leak. We send it out to Christina Gonzalez live with the new breaking details. And Christina, new questions about the response time to this leak?
There's questions about a lot of stuff going on with this. Let me first start with the governor because he just literally finished speaking. He did issue a state of emergency to provide federal assistance responding to the oil, but he's also responding to the criticism, and we told you about this yesterday, that the company that operates this pipeline, Amplify, is also part of the initial response team, and as such has been part of the initial investigation as to the cause, which they said initially could be a ship, you know, putting the anchor in the wrong place. So here is what he had to say about that, the governor.
Yeah, 100% unequivocally not part of the investigation. The responsible party is not part of this investigation. Now, they're a party to the investigation. By definition, their information, insight, and accountability will be part of the investigation. But no, they're not driving it in any way, shape, or form.
You know, we're talking about a spill that has released tens of thousands of gallons. I'm getting reports, and I talked to city officials in Laguna. They're getting oil on their beach. That's close. As far as San Clemente, we are talking about. And while it is true what the governor is saying, that that this company is not part of the investigation that is separate, they are definitely part of the initial team. And they were part of the group that hired the divers, the commercial divers, that today did find a possible break, the possible source for this break off of Ellie. It's about 3.5 miles, this break, off of the coast, and here's what the Coast Guard is telling us about that.
What they further located was a 13-inch split in that pipe, on the side of the pipe, that is a likely source of release of oil. We've determined that approximately 4,000 feet of the 17.7-mile pipeline has been displaced, and it's been laterally displaced by 105 feet.
At the same time, she says she at this point does not have reports of any vessel on top of that pipeline, but they are still looking into this. Now, they're facing very, very tough questions, the Coast Guard, because if you remember, the initial reports of an oil slick began on Friday afternoon, Friday evening. The Coast Guard said that they did not go out on those reports because they get reports like that all the time. You know, a small boat has a problem, but then the NOAA, the NOAA information came out, and they had satellite imagery saying they had a good-sized slick out there. Again, we asked the Coast Guard. They're saying, no, it was still dark. We were going to wait till the next day. And it wasn't until the next day when the company that operates the pipeline actually reported there was a problem that they actually started putting boats out. Now, we did find out that the Coast Guard did issue a call in the middle of the night to all the vessels when they didn't go out, but they had heard there was some kind of spill, trying to find out if anybody saw anything. And there was no answer from the rig this supposedly started out at, Ellie. And here's what the owner of the company, the director, had to say about that.
We have no reports of anyone reaching out to us.
The Coast Guard said that they put out a radio broadcast on Friday night about the initial NRC report, asking for any information about an oil spill or an oil sheen, and had no response from your platforms. Why is that?
We weren't aware of any oil sheens or issues. So like I said, we are going to be fully transparent with the investigative authorities, and they can determine anything from there.
And quite honestly, they're all saying they're going to be fully transparent. But for example, when we asked the Coast Guard officials, okay, can we see video of imagery of this pipe that you all have somehow discovered with your divers, well, that's going to be part of the investigation. Well, who's investigating? And then they say, well, there's a separate team that will be investigating. Bottom line, though, for our viewers, the beaches will remain closed. They will remain closed at least through tonight. And we're talking about the beaches from over here, from Huntington all the way down to San Clemente, Dana Point, the boats, they're not going to allow them to use the port there. They have to go all the way to Long Beach. And the fact that they have closed down all fishing, commercial and private, anywhere off this coast for a few miles, that's also very telling as to their concerns. They are still, the cleanup effort is massive. I think they're working really, really strongly on that. The assessment as to what the damage will be to the ecosystem, that's going to take some time. But again, at this point, we have the declaration of emergency, a lot of questions as to the initial, why did it take so long to get out there and start dealing with this, and to the involvement of the company that is behind the break. We'll keep you updated as we find out more. I'm Christina Gonzalez. Back to you guys.